End bad governance protest. Protesters demand vacation of Abuja court detention order. Exactly. So people have come out again now for Abuja court order to detain the arrested End bad governance protesters, that they want that order to be vacated. That means it should be cancelled and declared null and void, and so that those people can be released and then let them go back home. About 2,111 people have been detained so far, and the federal government is still cracking down on more people. Does it mean that people don't have right to protest anymore? That is the big question. This is almost a dictatorship system of government. But again, let's dive into the details to get a bit of the meat of the story. The arrested and detained End Bad Governance protesters have demanded vacation of the orders of the Federal High Court, Abuja, which permitted the Inspector General of Police to detain them for 60 days pending the conclusion of investigation. So in a motion on notice dated the 26th day of August 2024, through a consortium of human rights lawyers led by foremost human rights lawyer Femi Falana, son, they demanded that the order of the court be set aside, discharged, and vacated outrightly for them to be set free. So the ex parte order for the 60 days detention was made on the 22nd day of August 2024 by Justice Emeka Nwite in a suit with number Federal High Court Abuja CS 1233 2024 between the IGP and the Comrade Okpaoluwa Elojo and 48 others. There are plenty, the past 49. The 49 protesters clamped down into police custody on detention, maintained that neither the IGP nor President Bola Tinubu have right to arrest them on account of exercising their fundamental right to object to policy of government exposing them to hardship. Exactly. So they cited several protests in the past led by Tinubu without any harassment, molestation, arrest, or detention, insisting that Tinubu is the biggest beneficiary of protest and dissent in the country. So in an affidavit in support of their motion deposed to by one Paul Ochayi, the protesters maintained that protest is a right and that President Tinubu had led protests in the past without being harassed, detained, or remanded. So they also challenged the remand orders on the ground that Justice Nwite, who issued them, had no jurisdiction to grant the ex parte order he made pursuant to Section 299 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015. Meanwhile, no date has yet been fixed for hearing of the motion by the court. It has, however, been served on the Inspector General of Police for his response as required by law. Now, this one, wow. So now, if not that human rights lawyers led by Femi Falana are intervening, these people would have been forgotten there. The question is it a wrong thing to protest? We agree that when people are protesting, they shouldn't be damaging public properties. Yes, that looks more like criminal. Okay, so there is a right to protest, but it has to be a peaceful protest. There is no right to destroy government properties, assets that have been built using the taxpayers' money. You go and destroy it. That is not how to protest, because whatever government has built belongs to the citizen, because those things were built using the citizens' taxes that they have collected. So it is not a right thing for us to protest and destroy things. But on the other hand, we are not supposed to detain people protesting against the government. What government is supposed to do is to listen to their reasons and, phantom ways to make things work. And if there's any inhuman policy that the citizens are protesting against, then it is the duty of the government to go back and review such policies and make amends where necessary so that there can be peace. You are making laws for people, and the people you made laws for say they don't want it. So you have to retrieve it. That is it. So irrespective of the intention you have as a government, if the people are seeing loopholes in the law, and especially if it is tilting toward dictatorship or is bringing hardship upon the people, they have the right to say no. It is our right, and we have the right to be free in our own country. So with the way things are now, I can see that Femi Falana has led a group of lawyers to demand that ex parte order granted by Justice Imite in the Federal High Court Abuja, that order should be, revoked, and that order should be vacated and cancelled, and so that those people can be released. The problem I have, there is a record that shows that about 2,111 people have been arrested so far and detained, but right now we are only accounting for 49 people. So the question is, what will happen to the rest 1,000 and 1,900 and something people on the other side? Almost 1,970 people or 900 and something people are detained, are not accounted for, except they want to tell us that those people that made up that 2,111 have been released already. Then we need to have a proof, because at the end of the day, we want the job that Falana and his team is doing to be very comprehensive and more encompassing, ensuring that nobody is left behind after this fight, because the people that have been detained all need to be accounted for and released at the same time. Just like they said they have released the, what did they call it, NSAS protesters last 2 weeks from the Kirikiri medium prison, 6 of them. But, Nigerians are saying that they have more people. Now that these 6 have gone, and that everybody will go to bed, and even the government will enter into cooler, and everybody will believe that everybody have been released. But the question is, who has, assessed the situation and, proved that only those 6 people were the people detained because of NSAS protest? That is a question that is yet to be answered. So we don't want that same scenario to repeat itself again in this hashtag End Bad Governance protest, where a lot of people, hundreds and thousands of people have been arrested, and now we are only accounting for 49 people. What about the rest people? The government need to tell us. Femi Falana need to do a more detailed job to ensure that, a detailed investigation is carried out, and everybody arrested by reason of this End Bad Governance protest is identified, located, and confirmed where they are, and then be included that in this release plan so that they can also go home. Because I see a situation where at the end of the day, a lot of people might be left behind to deal with their own case on a personal basis. And that is not the best way to go. It's a country that everybody wants to be good, and everybody has to work together to make it good. And so when individuals that are involved in protests like this are left to fight for themselves, then it's a bad omen. So Falana will need to do a more detailed job to ensure that, yes, everybody that has been arrested and detained is included in this plan that they are doing. It's a very good plan. At least we have somebody that can speak for the people. We have somebody that can speak for the less privileged and the unrepresented. So it's a very good one. Just let's make sure that it's comprehensive enough to account for everybody that is involved, so that there will be no stones will be left unturned. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment over this plan.